she's given the ball away. You can't give it to Diogo. Where Diogo pushes it forward. She's going to barge her way into the penalty box, and the shot, and the follow-up, the goal for Côte d'Ivoire. The hosts Morocco will take on South Africa. Delivery coming over again into the penalty box. And Ghazi, oh, that was very close. She got a boot to the head. Red card offence. Ouedraogo, the star player of the Côte d'Ivoire, has been given her marching orders. There's good work from Dafur getting the ball out to Belkhetir. She's got support out to the right-hand side there. Belkhetir, there's a decent goal. Look at that shot! Algeria producing something quite special from the right side.
Uyasondela manje la ayibeka phakathi wayishaya yagwala Karabo Dlamini yenqeka lihle ibhola lithola Thembi Kgatlana usebhoxini lapha yaphakuza inethi oh iphakeme iflegi uyikhomba lapha esenta uNompempe othi igoli laseNingizimu Afrika leli.
There's the shot driven right through. It's a thunderous shot and a great goal. Stunning, absolutely stunning.
Ivory Coast will meet the losers in the African World Cup playoffs. Here are Ghana trying to open the scoring early, and into the middle it goes. Up goes Boadua. Boy Hawkler with the strike. Boy Hawkler with the goal. Her first of the campaign. Benedetta Kadire. Oh, that's a nice ball round the corner. Picked up by Simwaka. Into the middle it goes from Simwaka. Only as far as Temwa. Strike a goal from Temwa. Turned behind and turned in. A deflection takes it in. This is coming all the way back to Kusi. Options in the middle for the Ghanaian to deliver again. Well, she cannot miss, and there is Doris Boadua to restore Ghana's advantage early in the second half.
Boadua there thinking she'd done enough for the Black Queens of Ghana, but unfortunately that goal disallowed as an offside. But what a cross from Kusi. We look at Amakhosi finals and those results. 2-1 victory for Algeria against Cote d'Ivoire, 2-1 for Morocco against South Africa, 1-0 for Cameroon against Nigeria, and 2-1 for Malawi against Ghana. Shuffle, give me your thoughts on the first two fixtures there.
Yeah, I think I watched a little bit Cote d'Ivoire and Algeria. I think Algeria played very well and they controlled the game, and that's why they scored their 2 goals. And then Cote d'Ivoire, they had to chase the game, but it was too late. And then in Morocco, South African, you know, trailing 2-0 against the host. Always you know, to win, because bane crowd ngapha. And I think they did try their best, but their best was not good enough on the day. So Morocco, I think they deserve to win.
Well, Morocco getting their revenge, because we know South Africa won the 2022 final against them. We also played them in December. A very convincing 2-0 victory for Banyana Banyana against Morocco. But how the tide has turned. Hask, talk to me about Cameroon up against Nigeria and Malawi against Ghana.
Yeah, that's again, once we go from the Men's World Cup, where it was a tournament of surprises. That was what it was dubbed as. This is, you know, much the same, because who would have thought in the group phase already Nigeria would lose a game against the Malawi. And now you get to, you know, they fought tooth and nail to get to that quarterfinal stage against Cameroon. They would be fancied, but it just wasn't to be. Cameroon, who, as you mentioned earlier, didn't even qualify outright. They really dug deep, and they've shown that, you know, the second time's a charm, or that second opportunity they got, they grabbed it with both hands. Beautiful performance against Nigeria. They had to defend for large parts of the game, but they did the business. And then Malawi, as Southern Africa, as COSAFA, they are representing us. You know, you look at Chawinga, the Chawinga sisters, and they're a nightmare to deal with. And so Ghana felt the full brunt of that. And let's hope they can go a long way.
Also loving that young Kaizer who plays for Montpellier there for Malawi. But as soon as we get into the semi-finals, this is Wednesday's action, which you can catch live on the SABC, on SABC 3 as well as 2, respectively. Algeria, Malawi. Talk to me.
Ngizomba neMalawi.
The underdogs, the lowest ranked team in the tournament.
Thanda underdogs, because no one is really played. Abakhona ukuplan against Malawi kahle because ababazi. Number 2, bebabadelela, they didn't even consider them to reach where they've reached. So underdogs, they are always, not easy to play against. So I'll go for Malawi against Algeria. I think Malawi will make history and get to the final.
And Has, let me come to you. Host nation Morocco, we've seen every single one of their games sold out, packed to the rafters. They take on Cameroon.
It's going to be a tough one, but you have to really admire what Morocco has done in their football, men's and women's football. They are the front runners. They are leading the way, setting the benchmark. If you put the systems in place, for only that reason alone, I want Morocco to do well, because they are setting the example for the rest of the continent. Put the systems in place, do the right things in order to develop your football, and you'll get the reward. And we certainly are seeing that even in their women's football. They are 2-time finalists now in the tournament. We know they lost the last 2 finals. And this possibly the year that they go all the way.
Possibly the year that they go all the way, led by coach Jorge Vilda, the man that won the World Cup with Spain. These are officially the teams that have qualified for the semi-finals, and they are going to Brazil 2026, Algeria, Cameroon, Malawi, and Morocco. And of course, South Africa, Nigeria, Ghana, and Cote d'Ivoire live to fight another day.
What is this?
Yeah, the funny thing is 6 teams can qualify. 4 will qualify automatically, and 2 teams will go into the playoff. So from the losing quarterfinalists, so those 4 teams are all losing quarterfinalists. They have to play for those last 2 spots to go into the intercontinental playoff. Basically the same way the DRC qualified for the Men's World Cup.
Ahead of Nigeria.
Ahead of Nigeria. This is possibly how South Africa can still get to the World Cup. But now we pit it against our arch enemy, our arch rival, Nigeria. It's going to be a tough ask, but
it's a battle of everything with Nigeria.
Are not in a rich vein of form either. As much as, yes, we're not in the best moment in terms of our women's football on the international stage, Nigeria aren't either, and that's what should give us hope. We can certainly pull it off.
And perhaps it's an opportune time for us to then get into that discussion. When we look at WAFCON 2026, what went wrong for Ningizim Africa?
Yeah, I think, it's not the same. Sometimes, when you finish the previous tournament on the high level, win the tournament, Guamanyama tournament being the final, the losers, the Guma finals, the Guma semi-finals. So I think the hunger, Banyana Banyana, it was not the same hunger, Banyana Banyana.
Has talked to me, because a lot of people saying with Banyana Banyana, we had to see a lot of individual performances having to come through. You saw against Burkina Faso, Tembe Kgatlana having to find that goal, fighting hard for South Africa. But for us to get the passage into the knockout as well, Hilda Magaya coming off the bench to score the winning goal in 90+9 minutes, starting off the bench for South Africa.
Yeah, certainly. We scored 4 goals in the tournament fee. 3 of them from, obviously, Tembe Kgatlana, and then 1 from Hilda Magaya, as you mentioned. Are there enough role players around the field? Is everyone stepping up? And you look at your more experienced campaigners, especially in the middle of the park, the likes of Linda Motlalo, Refilo Ejane. Are we asking too much of individual players? Because you can see opponents know who to close down, who to target, whatever the case may be. I believe one of our better players, one of my favorite players in the Banyana jersey is Bongega Gamere. But the problem is that she's the best centre-back and she's the best central midfielder as well. Do we have enough depth in our squad? That's what we need to improve. And so just from an all-round perspective, in terms of our game, are we doing enough to really grow the game and take us to the next level? And we've got a generation of footballers who led us to the title. Where's the next generation? Do we have the next generation coming through that are putting the older ones under pressure? As we're seeing, you know, in the different spaces, we need to have the younger crop coming through, putting, you know, their older counterparts under pressure for places in the team. I don't think that's happening enough. And where does that begin? It begins from development level. Are we developing, you know, enough players? Is the pool of talent wide enough? Is the pool of talent big enough for even Coach Des to choose from? It leaves a lot to be desired.
Leaves a lot to be desired. As well, we saw Upikinini and Utembi Khatlane really fighting hard in that last game. Many people saying, Tembi celebrating a goal, but we are still a goal down. And talk to me about Chapo Mawubona lo mdlalo wokugcina weNingizimu Afrika ngenkathi lana idlala neBurkina Faso phambi kokuthi iyodlala neMorocco. We see that goal that sends South Africa into the knockouts.
Yeah, and yabona balithunge kanjani. Lisuka from the left side, it went all the way from the right side. Look at the pass, beautiful pass between the defenders. Utembi ke sniper. The amagola nje vele uzokulimaza, you know. But I think Jobo Makashile, we can't depend on her alone or Jane alone. They are already established players. So baplena ngabo. All these teams they plan around this Abotembi and Jane. So we need other youngsters to come and push Jane and Babe lapha Jane bakwazi ukufunda. But for me personal, I think Banyana Banyana, they've been doing well even before Hugo Bruce came. They were the ones that were doing well, Guma national teams, without resources.
Imagine then what South Africa could do with the resources.
Exactly. So someone has to answer for that. And the custodian of our football is who we look to.
All right. Well, unfortunately, Banyana Banyana, they're out of the running in terms of lifting another WAFCON title, but they live to fight another day in terms of the World Cup qualification. They will be taking on Nigeria on Thursday, and you can catch it live right here on the SABC. I guess in Tatseva, Jasinise Kefen, Masjiga and Jemba with Kef. It's all about MTN8 Wafa Wafa. There can only be one. Welcome back in Sabweli SoccerZone Kolalana with SABC 1. It's your best review show Lana Ningizimu Afrika, where we take a look at what's been out in the world of football. We've spoken at length about WAFCON 2026, and now it's time to change gears into the MTN8 Wafa Wafa. What a way to start out the pre-season tournament, Lana Ningizimu Afrika. You look at Orlando Pirates coming through, you look at Mamelodi Sundowns coming through. We had the pleasure of doing this Kukune United game. 7 goals scored. What a beautiful game. And unfortunately, Shaful, our Amakhosi Bagit.
Yeah, no, but it was a great game of football. Wafa Wafa. The tournament, I'm a player. Mentally, I will be fit. Physically, they are still also not 100%. So that's why Maunga Pega, a lot of goals go on game from Pirates game to Chiefs game. Amakula maninga kore go critical phase of the game. So amachita wagabi ipetra kagabi full guy.
Alga chachi guys. So qhaqha kahle ke namhlanje kholalana ku SoccerZone. Let's take a look at MTN8 Wafa Wafa quarterfinals.
Re kopana jalo re le mo lepaleng la Orlando mo motshamekong wa di quarterfinal tsa sejana sa mantshano sa Wafa Wafa the MTN8 Azare Msomi Paul penalty Karate sorona bila go tswa Kibidu Paul Otlatsa lo waka go le bala motshameko ale go bakala tshale ka la ka kana Tito or not Punte batla tshalo ngana ya re melang tshalo ka botlhale mo tseleng ya ga Serena ba fetisa ka serope a ba re ba itsamekela mo lefatshe la ditene le tana kwatse Bana le mokgwa wa go nosa ga kitsa le mo setleng se kgone go ntse jalo ba romela commentators case
in what was a second highest scoring MTN8 quarter-final clash this past weekend. Mamelodi Sundowns came from a goal down to beat Bulugwane City 3-2 in Archidgeville. I-Rise and Shine yona etheleke kuqala njengamanzi engene endlini oBonkosi Dlamini ladla kodwa ashesha abuya ama-Brazilians uTebogo Mokoena edlale kamnandi bene-Antonio van Wyk balishaya phakathi kwathi 1-1. On debut with his Austrian skills, Van Wyk went from an assist to scoring his first goal on debut for the hosts, and they were now in front 2-1. Just after the hour mark, City beat Sundowns' offside trap, and that's when Didimalo Mulokwane punished them 2-2. It took the great return of Cassius Mailula, the prodigal son, to combine with the GOAT, Themba Zwane. Watiwa cash, 3-2. Zandula esaseklorko.
And Chatsworth welcomes you. It welcomes the MTN8 quarter-final of AmaZulu versus Kukuna United.
Sentse se tla se fetola maina fela sejana se sa MTN8 wafa a re bone jalo Banjo ba romela ba tla jalo Kganebe thula ka tlhoko kgwele tla nakotsi AmaZulu.
But Babinanoko have set high standards since their promotion to the top flight a few years ago, and they are still looking for that first piece of silverware. Strike from range, deflection, Kukuna United strike back just like that.
Ramala Marumela Mokotenye Khaufi. Tata Mostrapensa AmaZulu. Parabone Jalo Ramala Akakoga. What a goal! Ramirez vai caçar muito o seu ele três copas bola calma and now we're open.
Debe from the left. Tariq Phillies knocks it across. Maybe it falls for Allen or for Phillies again. AmaZulu have equalized. Kamabu goes for it. Let's fly! What a goal!
Golden Arrows became the fourth and final team to reach the MTN8 semi-finals, beating Kaizer Chiefs by a 1-0 last night at the FNB Stadium. Abafana besithende babone ithuba elihle liza naye ke ukhulekani Shezi wathi ngiyabonga, thank you very much ladla. Abafana bophuthu madoda sebayohlangana neMamelodi Sundowns kuma semi-final.
And a confirmation of those results from the first weekend and quarterfinals of the MTN8. Orlando Pirates through 2-1 against Durban City. Mamelodi Sundowns a 3-2 victory against Rise and Shine. Also to Olma Peshankone going down 4-3 against Banyana Banyana. And Amakhosi unfortunately bowing out of the MTN8 by a 0-0 against Abafana Besithende. We see there what Shuffle was speaking about in terms of the teams not being quite sharp as yet. 3 of those games going into added extra time. A confirmation of your semi-finals. It is Kukuna United that will be home in the first leg against Orlando Pirates, while Mamelodi Sundowns, Bafana Bastille, will host the Golden Arrows in that first leg of the semi-finals. As we start to speak about a conversation, opportunity to start speaking about our defending champions, the Orlando Pirates. Nanoma bangadlali ibhola esilijwayele ibhola eli-crisp ngaleyo ndlela, they are still a team that is able to have enough character to find the victory, because we saw how they were able to get it done against Durban City.
Yeah, I think Nalama play bawa good additional players. You know, they want to continue from Laba corner. Look at the outswinger cross from Umuremi. Beautiful goal from Ulunga, Mr. Jones. I mean, your debut. Almost 30 minutes of second half extra time game say and then you score a scorcher like this. It's gonna boost the confidence yakhe. And Nyamazi mina from Super Sport when he still came back makaqala ukufika la South Africa sasemncane, hard working boy. I was very expecting ukuthi Ulunga uzozadlala nini big team, but beautiful goal there. And Orlando Pirates iyabonisa mayisene depth, so they won't rely to a player anyone. Yes, they've lost some quality players, but they still brought a player angayithathi Pirates foot to the next level.
There was a lot of questions about his signing when he was brought in, and people like, is he really going to add value to Orlando Pirates? I think he's answered that quite emphatically, because you know, the goal that he scores there, it's not an easy thing to do. He's under pressure, the technique he uses, there's a lot of control that's involved there. He knows exactly what he wants to do. You're volleying that, but you know, it's almost like a slice volley. Yeah. But beautiful control. And if you look at the timing of the goal, we're about to go into the 30th minute, crossover to the 30th minute mark of extra time. Can't ask for better than that.
And lastly,
Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones does find the back of the net there for Orlando Pirates in the 120th minute to take them through to the semi-finals. We go to the other encounter, Mamelodi Sundowns up against Rise and Shine. We've always seen Polokwane City to give Mamelodi Sundowns a tough time, but here perhaps we can speak to, yes, Mamelodi Sundowns get the results, but that defensive vulnerability, particularly from set pieces, could be a concern for Coach Miguel Cardoso.
It's quite literally two set plays, and two set plays where you don't deal with the first ball, because it's the first cross look there. We don't get the first ball, don't clear it. It falls on the back post. Dlamini does beautifully. But then the second goal as well, it's a free kick. But again, it's the first ball that's won by Polokwane, put further back into the box, falls to another Polokwane player, and it's in the back of the net. Look there again, not winning the first ball. It makes it very difficult. And for me, the big problem a lot of times, they're always in a flat line. I've seen that a couple of times. I remember when Cameron Danson scores the goal of the season last season. It's from a set play where literally they line up almost in a straight line. First clearance comes, but there's no one protecting the edge of the box. So do they need to rethink how they defend set plays? Quite possibly. It needs to be better, because a lot of teams will be looking at this and wanting to profit off their defensive frailties on set plays.
They too, like Orlando Pirates, are able to dig deep and find the winner. It's a player that said if he returns to South Africa, Mamelodi Sundowns is the only home he knows, and he finds the winner here.
Yeah, but good combination play from Mshishi and Ulo, number 11. But the finish, Mailula, instant impact. And he's a clinical finisher around the box. The likes of Abo Romario, you know, the Brazilian, even the late Laki Maselesele, you know, short, very powerful, strong, and composure. But the finish, but also the move, Temba Zwane, Pelabeseka corner, and Makonu Temba Zwane, Wonka Makita Valley, who John Vuliki, we are fools.
Umshishi Vulama Katie Mailula finds that winning goal for Mamelodi Sundowns to send them through as well to the semi-finals of the MTN8 for a second season in a row. We also saw the character of Skukuni United coming through, and Ushezi Owayoge Golden Arrows Abafana Best 10, breaking the hearts of the Amakhosi faithful. Welcome back to SoccerZone. Let's now take you to the moment that many across the country have been waiting for. Yimtisela principal kurata idwela kuri susasekile kumbe aswisasekani.
Welcome to the referee's corner. Let's start with WAFCON, Algeria, Cote d'Ivoire. There's a red card that was given. Was it correctly given now? Let's go and have a look. We can see our Drago there. Kicking the goalkeeper on the face, now, FIFA is saying hand on the face is a yellow card. Now, a kick on the face, what does it mean? Now, FIFA is saying this is serious foul play. The player must be sent off for kick on the face. You can kick anywhere, but when you come to the face, it's a different story altogether. Remember, Kekana against Sundowns Experience, he was sent off for a kick on the face. He was even given 2 ban, not 1 game, 2 extra because of what? On the face. Now, let's go to the next one. So, correct decision by the referee to give a red card through VAR. Let's go to the next one. We'll go to Beckenpool here. A penalty was given here. Now, the law says if a player is challenging for the ball and a penalty is given, no more yellow card. Here we see Jelly Chaban giving a yellow card and a red card, which was incorrect for a second yellow card. But Beckenpool was supposed to get a yellow card on the 24th minute. which was second to be red card. So he was sent off very late. He was supposed to go out on the 24th minute for his tackle on Jansen. Right, let's go to the last one. Here we see Matonsi. Hey, Matonsi, Udayabandu Matonsi here. Look at him there. This is serious foul play. He got a yellow card. But we're going to show it to you that the speed, the intensity, this is brutality. This is not even a yellow. This player was supposed to have been sent off. He was not sent off.
All right, so out of the three, one is correct, and one, I mean, where the ref did the right thing there, and that is at the Women's Africa Cup of Nations. I mean, women's football, always on the rise. Let's take it through to an ad break. And your MVP this week, it is Mr. Jones, Kampani Lungu, the man that finds the back of the net and the winner for Orlando Pirates in the MTN8. Congratulations, massive percentages there. My eyes are playing tricks with me though. 70% in favor of Kampani Lungu. Let's now take you through to Almamesh.
Go to the field of play to target ankles. And not collect red cards.
They came to end careers, Baba.
And Baba, they sing and sleep.
We must go to the police
but
station.
Baba, they go there and play rugby, not football. Back.
Look at that. Just look at that. That's Mantosi finally getting booked. Feel a little bit free. Look at those rugby lines on the field. Yes. So unlucky this young man. I really feel for him.
I know, Shem, that last one. Even Bernard didn't know what to do with himself. But thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in. The principal, Super Journo, the Hask, Shuffle the Pack, and myself, Obusiwe Ntokazi Wangcobo, and the rest of the Soccer Zone team. Have yourselves a good night and God bless.